One, two, three, four. Telephone line. Tell me the movies. Nobody sings my song. There's no man, I got to thinking, man, you're really stinking. Wanna show them all. Wanna get myself back to it. Know that I can do it. I'm like to go. Living on cold time. Living on cold time. Wanna get myself back to it. I've been doing it.
Hello and welcome to the National Brain Tumor Society's first ever virtual Brain Freeze. I'm Martina Del Bonta from Fox 40 in Sacramento, your MC for this virtual experience, and I'm so excited to be with you all. If you have a direct connection, thank you for sharing this special day with me. This community has a special place in my heart. Last year, NBTS hosted several Brain Freeze events across the country with the common goal to defeat brain tumors. Since this year prevents us from freezing the disease together, NBTS has invited everyone to show us how you freeze using the resources available to you. Some people jumped in a lake near their home, and some used ice from their freezer, and others used a water hose. However you decided to freeze a disease this year, we are grateful for your support. Today will be memorable and inspiring, and I hope you enjoy it. Now let's get to the program. Please help me give a warm welcome to National Brain Tumor Society CEO, David Ahrens.
Hello, everybody. I'm honored to be here with you today for the 2020 National Brain Freeze virtual event, our first one ever. I greatly appreciate all the amazing participants, teams, sponsors, and partner organizations for joining with us today, and would like to offer a special shout out to all the healthcare providers and caregivers that are doing absolutely heroic work during these challenging times. Now, we know how hard hit many communities have been across the country and continue to be by the coronavirus. and we continue to appreciate all that you've done to partner with NBTS and provide your critical support. Please know that the dollars raised through NBTS, like this one, will be put towards advancing our critical mission through these challenging circumstances. In addition to research and advocacy, this includes providing support and navigation to the community and patients and caregivers, and we have resources available specifically to address treatment or other health-related concerns brought on by COVID-19. Just as you are here for us, we are here for you. We're in this together, one team. Now is such a critical time to put the pedal down and keep it down to reach our mission. A brain tumor diagnosis is also a crisis. We have to hit it head on. Patients and their families live from MRI to MRI. We can't let anything hinder our mission, not now and not ever. Now, another part of NBTS is providing care and support. We need to make sure our patients are safe during this pandemic. We must continue to raise our advocacy voices to ensure that the needs of the brain tumor community are heard loud and clear and reflected in public policy and in our national priorities. We must drive research toward better treatments and indeed cures. Cures cannot wait. There have never been more promising scientific opportunities to beat brain tumors than right now. Thanks to your fundraising, we have progressed brain tumor research in ways that will help children and adults with every type of brain tumor. In the last 10 years, thanks to research and advocacy efforts supported by the National Brain Tumor Society, we've made clear progress. Clear, rational new treatment strategies have emerged for researchers and biopharmaceutical companies to follow based on an increased understanding of how brain tumors function, grow, and even evade treatment. We know their vulnerabilities better today than ever before. We can attack them. We know how to increase the likelihood of success using treatments that harness the body's own immune system called immunotherapy. And we developed clear research plans to exploit in both low-grade and high-grade brain tumors, including the most innovative brain tumor clinical trial in a long time, known as GBM Agile, that was launched last year and has expanded this year. There is now novel research being done in pediatric brain tumor survivorship through the federal government. And thanks to you, NBTS is poised to launch new clinical trials this year and even more next year if we can raise enough support. We didn't get to fund all that we wanted to this year in research, but with your support, we can get there. And we can continue to help the community. With information on our website, we have new programs that we've just launched to help more patients. Meditation Mondays is a great example. Thanks to Tori Best, we're now providing meditation services once a month. We also have our personalized brain tumor supported navigation program where you can reach a neuro-oncology nurse RN to help talk through your brain tumor experience. And we have the NBTS Clinical Trials Finder. This is a great place to go to find clinical trials you may be eligible for and create a list and take it to your care team. And you're welcome to join our brain tumor support conversations, a virtual support group happening every month facilitated by NBTS volunteers. I appreciate all of your support, and none of this work would be possible without you and your teams and your communities. Thank you for being with us. Be well, be safe, and know that National Brain Tumor Society is here for you.
If you or a loved one are in need of information, resources, or support to assist as you navigate a brain tumor diagnosis, please be sure to visit our website. And if you find that you need additional assistance, know that we have an on-staff patient navigator to help. You can reach her by emailing patientnavigator@braintumor.org.
Thank you, David. It's so wonderful to hear about how the NBTS is supporting patients. Now we get to learn more about what's happening in the scientific world by National Brain Tumor Society's Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Kirk Tanner.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 2020 National Brain Freeze. First of all, a big thanks for your really outstanding support. I can't emphasize enough how important your support has been, continues to be, and is even more important in these times. So what I'd like to do is briefly share with you why we find this such an exciting and transformational time for brain tumor research and moving new drugs and medicines to brain tumor patients. As we really begin to translate the groundbreaking advances in understanding the molecular genetics and the complex biology of brain tumors to advance new medicines and drugs to patients. And I think National Brain Tumor Society's flagship programs in Defeat GBM and Defeat Pediatric Brain Tumors are really excellent examples of the foundations that now set the stage for our new funding platform called Defeat Brain Tumors, where we're really focusing in on 4 therapeutic classes of drugs that we think that are the ripest to advance new medicines to both pediatric and adult brain tumor patients. The first area is immune therapy and immuno-oncology. And this is all about igniting a patient's own immune system to attack and kill the tumor. And we're finding that really figuring out the right combinations and the timing of giving these drugs are incredibly important. The next class that we're really excited about are called DNA damage repair inhibitors. And this is all about, so there's a whole stable of drugs that are either approved in the case of PARP inhibitors or other classes that are working their way through early development. And it's all about marrying the right drug with the right target, having very efficient and intelligent clinical trial design, and then execution, moving forward and testing these in an efficient way, time and again, to move new medicines to both, again, pediatric and adult brain tumor patients. The third class of drugs is really looking to exploit the tumor metabolism and metabolic codependencies. And this is really about finding the Achilles heel in the brain tumor and then really targeting it with a drug that will specifically be able to exploit that. And then finally, there are classes of drugs that are really targeting precision medicine. And what precision medicine is all about is really get a deep understanding of the mutations of a patient's brain tumor and then really tailoring the right drug for that. And so there's a whole bunch of activity in this area, and NBTS is heavily involved. So again, I think you can see why there's such excitement and enthusiasm, and there's so much more to do. And that's why I'm really honored and humbled to work with each and every one of you as we try to advance new treatments to brain tumor patients. So thanks again for your participation today. Try not to have too big of a brain freeze, but thanks for everything. Thank you. Bye.
Well, that's very exciting stuff, Kirk. Thank you for sharing. Have you ever wondered, though, about NBTS advocacy? What does it mean to be an advocate? What can I do to influence action at the governmental level? Well, I have too. Liz Solomon, National Board Member, has graciously offered to share more. Liz?
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for participating in the National Brain Freeze benefiting National Brain Tumor Society. I'm Liz Solomon, and I've been living with a low-grade glioma for 12 years. And for nearly all of that time, I've been an advocate with National Brain Tumor Society. Being an advocate means using your voice for something that's important to you. And as a person dealing with a brain tumor, what's important to me is money for research dollars that can look into therapies, treatments, cures, and quality of life research that benefits me and my fellow friends with brain tumors. Anyone could be an advocate. You don't just have to be the person with the brain tumor. You could be a family member, a care partner, a best friend. Can't be a dog, but you could be a human being and be an advocate. And being an advocate is using your voice. So when I advocate, I'm not just one voice. When we all get together, we work stronger together and we have a louder voice. Sign up to be an advocate with National Brain Tumor Society. It's very easy. Bust out your phone and text the words brain tumor to 52886. I've been on this list for a little while. I only get messages during important times of the year, but sign up. Super important. Again, text brain tumor to 52886. Thank you so much. Go freeze out there.
Thank you, Liz. I'm going to text right after the program. Now, I'm humbled to be able to introduce you to our survivor guest speaker, Eden Zaslav, who will share a bit about her story after being diagnosed with an oligo 4 years ago. Eden.
My name is Eden Zaslav. I was diagnosed with an oligodendroglioma in July 2016. So I just hit my 4-year cancerversary. My journey started with a tonic-clonic seizure in the passenger seat of our car while my husband Dan drove us back to our house in Seattle. Just moments earlier, I had been driving, but miraculously, we had decided to switch seats. My next memory was being joined by Dan as I was being wheeled into the University of Washington Medical Center ER. A preliminary CT showed I had a mass in my right frontal lobe. The next day, an MRI confirmed it was a brain tumor. Days later, I would have surgery. Family would fly in. Our girls, 12 and 15 at the time, were away for summer activities. It was a whirlwind. We tried to have a few normal days before surgery, spending time with friends. I didn't give a ton of thought to the fact that I was going to have my brain cut into in a few days. Why spend my energy on that? I just knew in my heart of hearts I was going to be fine. Well, actually, even better, because the tumor would be gone. I had too many things to do in this lifetime. I was a 46-year-old mother of 2 teenagers. I was a wife, and I'm a daughter. When I was checked in at the hospital at UW, they started my IV, and the next thing I knew, hours had gone by, and I was waking up. My head was so tightly packed in ice. It felt like the worst headache I've ever had, but I felt like myself, and my thinking was clear. Much of my recovery was spent enjoying summer weather, going on short walks on a trail near my house. As my distance increased, I felt that I might soon be able to resume running. Running became my hobby when I started doing half marathons, a goal of mine when I turned 40. Since that first half marathon, I was hooked. It became my thing, early morning runs, alone, before the world woke up. Something quiet, just for me. Since then, I kept the same routine. I ran about 20 miles a week and usually did about 2 organized runs a year. Even during radiation, I ran a half marathon. As an aside, my career has been in cancer research, mostly in clinical trials, investigating potential biotech cancer treatments in the hopes of getting new therapies approved by the FDA, mostly in lymphoma, but some in breast and liver cancer. So I had some familiarity with cancer terminology, but not brain cancer. A month or so following surgery, I had proton radiation therapy, followed by a year of PCV chemotherapy. I was grateful that I did not feel many of the side effects of chemotherapy. It was mostly manageable for me. I continued to feel well and strong, so I continued to run, do Pilates, and yoga. I also continued to work very part-time and then resumed full-time about 14 months after my initial diagnosis. I took tap dance lessons and we planned trips to Europe. In closing, I want to express my gratitude to the brain tumor community, to the researchers, organizers, and participants, and to other families and brain tumor patients. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story, Eden. You are an incredible testament to strength and perseverance. This community is with you and will continue to move this mission forward for everyone who has been touched by a brain tumor. Now, I bet you all are getting excited to virtually freeze a disease, but before we watch how teams around the country join us this year, I want to offer a couple reminders. First, registration is still open and will be through this weekend. Register, share the opportunity with others, and donate today. Those who officially register for the event will receive an event t-shirt in the mail in the weeks following the event. And those of you who earn fundraising prizes will receive an email with instructions on how to redeem your prize in the week following the event. Speaking of fundraising, another way we receive funds is through our sponsorship. Sending a very special thank you to those of you who help us identify sponsorship opportunities, and a double thank you to those businesses who so generously give to this mission. Your support is invaluable in making this event possible. Now the time has come to virtually freeze a disease. Team Courtney from Northern California is going to kick it off for us.
We are so excited for the 2020 Virtual Brain Freeze. From Mexico, go! My name's Courtney Yesford, and this is how I freeze the disease for the National Brain Freeze in 2020.
up there. There's my wife. Waving. Oh yeah. All right, ready? I'm raising money for brain cancer. Well, that too. All right, ready? Try not to kill myself on the run. Wow!
Hi, I'm Mara. This is Raquel and Riley. I freeze disease in memory of my sister Lisa. Come on, let's go! Woo! I freeze the disease! Woo!
We freeze for Cassidy.
Alright, now this is my polar plunge.
Woohoo!
Brain freeze!
Come on.
Oh my god, the brain freeze! This is how we freeze this disease.
Now, how awesome was all of that? You guys are all some creative teams. I'm Martina Del Monte from Fox 40 in Sacramento, and it has been my absolute pleasure to be your event MC. Before I step out to go freeze a disease, I'm honored to share with you the many faces of those who continue to motivate us to continue supporting the NBTS mission.
Hi, my name is Arlene, and I was diagnosed with glioblastoma 2 years ago. Survivorship means to me being part of a group of people who are going through something similar or the same thing, where we have the same goal to end this horrible, horrible disease by inspiring and by motivating and letting them know you're not alone. We're all here for each other. I'm so glad to be part of this. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm Cassidy's mom, and I'll be speaking for her. Hi, my name is Cassidy Sidhu. I had a brain tumor, a glioblastoma multiforme, otherwise known as GBM4, when I was 11. I had surgery, radiation, and chemo. I was fine for 9 years. Then, in January of 2019, a new tumor was found, a high-grade astrocytoma. I had a biopsy, radiation, and chemo. I was doing fine until August of 2019. My right side went numb. Then my speech got bad too. The symptoms are similar to having a stroke, although I can understand everything. I can walk, but it's with a brace, and I can talk, but it's difficult. My right hand does not work, but I can move my arm from my shoulder area. This was caused from necrosis, a side effect from radiation. There are good days and bad days, but I always move forward, one day at a time. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm a 10-year brain tumor survivor. In 2009, I was diagnosed with oligodendrioma with points of high grade, which led to surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy pills. Survivorship means a lot of different things to me. One is making memories. At the time of my diagnosis, I had 2 young boys, and all I wanted to do was spend time with them and my wife. It changed my way of outlook of everything. I didn't miss any opportunity to reconnect with friends and family. There's always going to be you're going to be anxious every time you're getting an MRI or waiting for the results. One thing that really helped me a lot was joining the brain tumor support group and having doctors speak and connecting with this whole community.
My name is Courtney. I was diagnosed with an astrocytoma when I was 24. That was 6 years ago. Survivorship to me is being part of a wonderful, powerful community of other people touched by a brain tumor, working collectively to eradicate this horrible disease.
Hi, my name is Robert. I was diagnosed with a grade 3 anaplastic astrocytoma in November of 2016. And survivorship to me is just making the best out of every day that we have.
Hello, my name is Kurt Kellerhaus II, astrocytoma grade 2 in 2017, humble.
Hi, I'm Stacy Adams, and in 2015, I was diagnosed with a meningioma. And to me, survivorship means courage.
My name is Liz Salmi, and I was diagnosed with a grade 2 astrocytoma in 2008. To me, survivorship means curiosity.
Thank you to everyone who has joined us today and shared your hearts. Your participation means the world. I hope our viewers and all of our participants have enjoyed the event so far. This event is formally hosted by National Brain Tumor Society, but it's built by some incredible hearts and minds in the shape of a volunteer planning committee. This year, we have combined forces of multiple regional planning committees, and together we span many states. They locked arms with me without hesitation to make this day a success for all. Everything from building a fundraising toolkit to mapping out how to engage participants from coast to coast, they are there every step of the way. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for all that you do. This event doesn't happen without you. I'll now pass the baton to my most loyal sounding board and partners in this mission, your 2020 Planning Committee. Courtney Gesford will kick off this collective moment of gratitude. Courtney?
Thank you, Jennifer, for all you do every day and every year, day after day and year after year. I freeze for each person that's ever been diagnosed with a brain tumor and all of those that will be diagnosed in the future. I want to thank all of the Brain Freeze alumni for rejoining us this year to continue the fight. The returning teams, the returning team captains, the individual freezers, the volunteers, the sponsors, and the donors that continue to help us build this community and this event and bring awareness to the needs of the brain tumor community. Special thanks to the team captains for rallying the troops, leading the charge, and as always, inspiring others. Your commitment is invaluable to all the lives touched by this mission. Keep it up. I'd now like to introduce my fellow committee member, Diane Lahola.
Thank you, Courtney. Because of our generous donors and sponsors, our mission continues to move forward. When sponsor dollars are coupled with peer-to-peer fundraising, we can really boost our mission a lot. Your support allows us to put more dollars to support research and raise awareness of this awful, awful disease. Thank you to our sponsors, donors, and everyone who supports the brain tumor community. Now I'd like to introduce a fellow committee member, John Cantola.
Thanks, Diane. I'd like to reach out with a special thank you to patients and caregivers, those who are still with us and those who passed away. They're sharing their stories as an inspiration to all of us and to others. To those of you who are caregivers, thank you for sharing your hearts with those who need it. It's an impossible job, and you're all heroes. Next, I'd like to introduce Mara Rempe.
Thanks, John. I'd like to thank the volunteers, past, present, and future. Without you, our hands, our events, and our wouldn't be possible. Your time and support create a special day for all. I'd like to pass it on to Sean Drennan.
Thank you, Mara. And I'd like to say thank you to all the advocates. That means all of you, each and every one. Everyone who speaks about the mission. Your voice is powerful, and it makes a difference in the lives of so many. And I'll now pass the mic to Dan Zasloff.
Thank you very much, Sean. And I'd like to take a moment to express gratitude to the researchers. Your time, attention, and dedication is what provides so much hope. We know you won't quit on us, and we won't quit on you, because this mission really matters. And now I'd like to punt it back to Jennifer.
Thank you all for being part of this beautiful community. This concludes the National Brain Freeze event program. For those of you who would like to participate in our remembrance ceremony, we will begin that in just a few moments, facilitated by the lovely Sharon Henry. For those of you who would like to gracefully decline participation in that remembrance ceremony, we say thank you so much for being here with us today, and be well.
Hello, I'm Reverend Sharon Henry, a chaplain at Sutter Roseville Medical Center in Roseville, California, and I'm so honored once again to hold space here as we hope, as we mourn, as we believe, as we remember. We honor in this space those who continue to hope for a cure, those who fight for each breath, and those who have taken their last breath at the hands of this disease. In this portion of the National Brain Freeze, we will hold space for remembrance of those who we have loved and lost. In our thoughts and in our prayers, we honor them. We honor their lives, their courage, their love, their laughter, their interests, their intellect, their wisdom, their warmth, their joys, their journey. And we honor the loss that we hold in their absence. Even though we cannot be together face to face to speak their names, I believe there's a great solidarity in knowing that across this nation, we are lifting up our loved ones together. And so I'm going to read a blessing written by Jan Richardson in her book, A Cure for Sorrow. The blessing is called Blessing for Coming Home to an Empty House. After I read this blessing, I invite you to type the names of your loved ones in the chat box below. And as a crowd of witnesses, I would like us to speak the names as they come into the chat box. Even though we won't be able to hear their reading out loud, even though it might not all be even live, people might be watching this later, I think there's something very powerful knowing that we are speaking their names from wherever we are watching this and however we are watching this. And so I invite you to do so out loud as you are willing. And finally, after I read that, we will, in this moment of silence, as you're speaking, I'm going to invite us into a moment of silence, which I will simply conclude with the word amen, which simply means to this we agree. And so here is a blessing for coming home to an empty house by Jan Richardson. I know how every time you return, you call out in greeting to the one who will not be there. How you lift your voice, not in habit, but in honor of the absence so fierce, it has become its own force. I know how the hollow of the house echoes in your chest, how the emptiness you enter matches the ache you carry with you always. I know there are days when the only thing more brave than leaving this house is coming back to it. So on those days, may there be a door in the emptiness through which a welcome waits for you. On those days, may you be surprised by the grace that gathers itself within this space. On those days, may the delight that made a home here find its way back to you again, not merely in memory, but in hope, so that every word ever spoken in kindness circles back to meet you, so that you may hear what still sings to you within these walls, so that you may know the love that dreams with you here when finally you give yourself to rest, the love that rises with you, faithful like the dawn that never fails to come. I invite you to type the names. I invite people to read the names. And I invite us, other than reading the names, into a time of silence. Amen.